Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I hope you are feeling good today. Check this out. Look what I just read. This is wild. Holden says RFK Jr. is the most liked political figure in America. There's just no way, though. All right? There's no way because the media told me RFK Jr. bad. The media told me RFK Jr. has dead worms in his brain and that he is incredibly controversial and that he is unqualified to be in any position. That's what media told me. But no, 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 no. No, no, no. Mr. Holden is right. RFK Jr. is definitely one of the most liked political figures in America. In fact, he is actually ranked second in this Harvard Harris poll. That is crazy. The only person he is behind is President Trump, who has a net approval rating of 50%. RFK Jr. is sitting directly beneath him at 46%. Are you kidding me? That is that is absolutely wild. RFK Jr., President Trump, and Elon Musk are holding the top three spots. That is wild. I want to go ahead and talk about some of these Democrats as well. And, we'll go ahead and look a little further on it later. But I want to have that conversation. And another conversation that I want to have is about Elon Musk, because, guys, there's this video that went completely just wild, like wildly viral on X today and yesterday. This is crazy. This was shared by Josh Equal. He was saying that Elon Musk walks off and leaves his 4-year-old son wandering off stage by himself. That sounds terrible, right? But what's more terrible is the amount of the context that this is actually lacking here, because the truth is the truth is the truth is like not crazy at all, but this video is so out of context, and this has reached 19 million people so far, and it's just crazy. So we'll go ahead and talk about that too. But we're gonna start here with this Harvard Harris poll. But before I do, let me go ahead and do something, guys. I made an intro. I did something kind of cool. Let me know if you like it or not. But I'll just go ahead and play it. Check this out. All right, I don't know. Let me know if you think that's cool. Let me know if you think it's like super lame. I just thought I felt like we needed an intro here. I felt like maybe we needed some music to kind of spice things up. I thought it'd be kind of cool. Let me know what you think about it, though. All right, but yeah, back to this Harvard Harris poll. There's actually a lot of data that came out from this, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of this. It's actually really, really fascinating because, like I said, there's a massive gap between where the media says we are, like collectively, and where people actually are, right? Like the day to day, the average voters. And I was looking at how they conducted this poll, and it looks like this poll reached almost 3,000 people. And I actually really appreciated the way that they asked some of these questions. So let's go ahead and get into. Again, these are the top three people here: President Trump, RFK Jr., and Elon Musk. These are their favorability ratings at 50%, 46%, and 44% going to Elon Musk. But let's go ahead and look down at the Democratic Party, because this is crazy. Kamala Harris's unfavorable net rating is 53%. Joe Biden's is at 58%. That's a negative 14% since the last time they were polled for Kamala Harris, and negative 24% for Joe Biden. And we mentioned this earlier during like President Trump's first week. Like, seeing how efficient this administration is, seeing how they are not wasting any time at all, seeing how President Trump is reaching to the press, seeing how Caroline Levitt is actually responding to people's questions, and the transparency that we're seeing from the Trump administration, seeing all of that makes me more upset with what Kamala Harris has done, with what President Biden has done. So I'm not surprised that these numbers are the way that they are. It's crazy. Okay, so now I wanted to. Here are some of the other questions that are asked in this poll, because I think this is really important. Um, this is actually going into what Elon Musk has done, just because, again, so many people aren't really loving what's happening with so many people are sharing their public scrutiny for Doge, but I wanted to see what people are saying, in like the masses. So check this out. Do you believe the current level of U.S. federal government debt is sustainable or unsustainable? People are saying 63% or 67% are saying it's unsustainable. 33% are saying it is sustainable. Okay, so most people are believing that we should probably make a change. Okay, Now, moving on, it says, do you think the US government should move in the next few years to balance the budget, or is that unrealistic and it should continue to run significant deficits? Again, 83% are saying we should probably move to balance the budget. And look at this, 76% of these guys are Democrats. Right. So this is kind of across this is across party lines, right? People want a efficient government. They do. But where things get a little tricky is actually, it's not this one. It is over here. Look at this. Do you think there should be a US government agency focused on efficiency initiatives or not? 72% of people are saying yes. Only 28% of people are saying no. Okay. But here's what I think is fascinating is this question that actually includes Elon Musk actually shows a really large contrast. And this kind of tells me that the problem isn't really with Doge. The problem is kind of with Elon Musk. And look at this. Do you think the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, is helping make major cuts in government expenditures or not? It looks like 60% of people are saying yes. It looks like 40% of people are saying no. And this is really popular with Republicans, and this is wildly unpopular with Democrats. Democrats are sitting at 37% here. But all of this to say that, again, the people who are really driving this, I believe, look like this guy, where they are more anti-Elon than they are anti-responsible spending, right? If you look at this data, most people believe that the government should actually be more fair and reasonable. Look at this question. Do you think that government expenditures are basically fair and responsible, or do you think they are filled with waste, fraud, and inefficiency? 70% of people believe that it's waste and fraud and inefficiency. Only 30% are saying, no, you know what, we're actually doing okay, right? But what I think so much of the problem is really with the way that Elon Musk is communicating, right? We saw him send out an email this past weekend asking people, like, what did he do this week? Respond back with 5 bullet points, or I'm going to accept that as a resignation. So now you have a billionaire who's reaching out to so many people who are just middle class citizens, and now you have a billionaire who's just directly affecting their livelihood. You ask me if that's like, I want to ask you if you think that's okay. If you think that's fair. You could let me know. To me, I see a couple red flags just in the way that he was communicating that. And I think there are endless better ways that he could have went about asking that question if you're really wanting to know about how we could make things a little bit more efficient. So that's just a little theory that I have. But back to this incredibly viral video. Okay, this might make you upset. If you love Elon, this might make you a little upset. Okay, check this.
We don't have too many, but that one is a good one. No, I watched this rocket come down about 3 months ago, and I thought it was crashing. I was talking to somebody on the phone.
Okay, so if you watch that, you just see Elon Musk leaving his 4-year-old kid behind, okay? And it might make you upset. A lot of people are upset about this, okay? But look at this other perspective that we have here of the same exact moment, brought to you by Colin Rugg. He responds to the original post just saying, if that made you sad, this should make you incredibly happy. Check this out.
You know, I always say we have to be protective of our geniuses because we don't have too many, but that one is a good one. No, I watched this rocket come down about 3 months ago, and I thought it was crashing. I was talking to somebody.
There we go. All right, and the two are united again, while leaving the arena side by side. But you do see Elon Musk get a little distant from him, but he immediately turns around and pulls his kid in, right? And look at him being so happy. He just looks like a normal dad here, throwing his hands up in the air, getting excited, right? His kid is just running to him, and this is just a really wholesome moment. But most people didn't see that moment. Most people saw this moment where this guy's commentary drove a massive feud and a debate online. And for this guy to have the audacity to say that this clip legitimately disturbs and saddens me, That to me is crazy. Thankfully, a community notes has already been published on this, saying in the full video below, you can see Elon turning around and waiting for his son. That's good. But again, the internet doesn't look. The internet glances. And if you could indulge me just a bit more, um, I want to look at kind of the psychology of this person, because one of his responses to another top comment really is telling. Check this out. This person says, that's not a fair assessment. Accidents can happen to anyone, even Elon Musk. Musk is a busy person, and it's possible he was distracted for a moment, but that doesn't mean he's a bad parent. I gotta agree. He continues and says, let's not jump to conclusions or judge someone based on a brief clip. All right. But look at this guy's response. Look at this terrible response. He says, oh, I assure you, I'm not assuming he's a bad parent just because of this clip. I'm assuming it because of virtually everything else he does. So now this tells me this guy's operating system, really. It doesn't matter what Elon Musk did. It doesn't matter what he does tomorrow. It doesn't matter what he did yesterday. It doesn't matter if he saves humanity in the future. What matters to this guy is to paint Elon Musk as the villain. And I don't think this guy is telling a unique story or a unique perspective. I actually think whenever we go back to this question, right, that was shared by Harvard Harris, whenever you inject Elon Musk into the conversation, it just makes people more nervous, right? Just because he's a controversial person. And I just thought that was I just thought that was really interesting, and I wish that wasn't the world that we lived in, but it really does seem like it. All right, unfortunately. And just to if I could say this too, looking at these numbers by Kamala Harris, right, where Kamala Harris is sitting at an unfavorable rating of 53%, that doesn't necessarily unqualify her, because I don't know if you saw one of my last videos whenever I was talking about kind of this upcoming feud between Nicole Shannon and Kamala Harris. I brought up this poll that by The Hill, and they were talking about how Kamala Harris is at 57% in the Democratic primary in their little polling system for California governor, right? And the New York Times had this headline saying Harris has scrambled the California governor's race without even entering it. Okay, like that is crazy. So even though on a mass scale, most people are pretty disappointed with Kamala Harris, that doesn't mean she doesn't have a chance in California. Okay, if you're gonna ask me, Kamala Harris is actually a real threat to other candidates in California, and I just think that's really interesting. So whenever I don't know, this kind of data is just really fascinating, because again, it kind of peels back the curtain in what you're often told by media, what you're taught to think by the people that you watch, by these newscasters and so forth. And then it's like, oh, well, this is actually what people really think. This is what normal voters think. This is what people like you and me think. And I love to see it. But anyways, let me know what you think about all this. Let me know what you think about RFK Jr. having a incredibly high favorability rating. Let me know what you think about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, kind of in the water. I love that in Harvard Harris, in their analysis and their key points, they wrote that Democrats are underwater here, and it's just could not be more true, right? Like like AOC out here at 38%. It's just wild. But let me know what you think about it in the comment section, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. All right, I hope you have a great and wonderful night, and I will see you all next time. Episode's over already? Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.